Chapter 2, The Eye That Looks. He sets out first to Minsk with Kikowin, the Belarusian kid intent on drawing, who one day would accompany Soutine to France. But first, to Minsk, where one heart-cloying circumstance is traded for another. Don't skip ahead to Montparnasse, ignoring how the fledgling artist leaves his mother, bounding through the ghettos gray and green, escaping with his underprivileged brother in the arts. Dear reader, have you ever seen a baby sparrow fallen from its nest attempt a running takeoff from between the leaves and rocks? And the stilted anapest of pointy feet that somehow grab a stick and hold the bird at momentary rest before an uncoordinated lick of wingwork reignites. Then you would know how Kaim and Kikowin perform the trick of forward motion from a slum. Below the crooked roadside undergrowth, they dart from shadow into light. They stop and go. They disappear and re-emerge. They start and startle, like two mice that burrow down, pop up, and flap a wing. It is an art the two will master, getting out of town. Soutine, you would have made a brilliant crook. The prince of thieves, I'll draw for you a crown. For jumping into every darkened nook. But why this in and out, Michel? It's crazy. It's better that your neighbor shouldn't look. But isn't that a little bit fugazi? We do these tradesmen and their starving mules a favor. Why? You know about the lazy eye. The eye that looks, Soutine, the fools that Solomon identifies with round and lustful eyes for idols. Beware the ghouls. Apocryphal. So what? It gets around. And what about the pregnant girl? One look at some old milk cow and she found a bullock in her bassinet. She took a chance and got a monster for her pains. Another bit of bullshit for the book. Look, Kikowin, you are a man with brains, and Smilovici is a memory. We'll walk to Minsk, and then we'll take the trains. We'll be in Vilna soon. Just wait and see. And please, Michel, forget the Mishigas. Here comes another schlepper. Follow me. He hops behind a wall of stone and moss and rolls under a haystack in the yard. Michel is quick to follow. Now they toss from stack to stack. They keep on guard and out of sight. This isn't superstition. Never. But it certainly dies hard. Kikowin adjusts his wire-frame glasses, pokes his hat back, and exhales a puff of acrid smoke. The evening passes as he contemplates his colleague's rough portfolio. A portrait. This one's good, he smiles and holds it up. Not good enough, Soutine replies. Your mother, no? You should take better care of these, says Kikowin. Our sulking hero throws a piece of wood into the fire that tosses sparks between the tree line and the bonework of a shack abandoned long ago. A common scene along the road to Minsk. A bivouac. Tomorrow we shall come to Minsk from Pinsk, jokes Kikowin, putting the pictures back into a burlap sack. Be ready, Minsk! No luck. Soutine is going dark again. A heavy scowl across a countenance of shadows in the dusk. Good night, my friend. A sparking pipe is tapped against a rock. The Belarusian diplomat knows when to call it quits with Kaim, when to walk away. He climbs into the broken shed and curls up in his overcoat, the clock of constellations ticking overhead. Meanwhile, Kaim himself is dozing off, the cooling embers hardening to lead beside him where he lies. His bed is rough, but certainly he's used to making do. His dreams are made of harder stuff. The beating of a wing, metallic blue, against the broken brickwork wall. His brother's surly voices breaking through the darkness. talons whip above it all as, screeching horribly, a hanging fowl explodes in gold and red. His dreams recall his punishment. The hours inside a foul enclosure, locked in by his brothers, turned into nocturnal theater, a hole, a veil of echoes with a pendant churns, the dying poultry framed against the fallen brick, behind which, black, eternal, burns an empty hell. He hears his mother calling, "Chaim!" and sees the milk and Russian bread laid out for him, below the shock of crawling flesh and whirling feathers overhead. He tries to move, but everything is stiff. His arms are paralyzed. His legs are dead. Kikowin awakes and wonders if Soutine has slept at all. He's not surprised to find the portrait of Chaim's mother ripped and burned and booted, for the cries at dawn were not those of the crested cock. His friend sits on the road with blooded eyes. And I'll leave you with one of the memoir stretches. But first, to Minsk.